Welcome everyone to your weekly update on the world of sportsman drag racing here on the Sportsman Racing Rundown. This week we're going to switch it up a little bit, so we'll still hit our weekly race coverage at the end of the episode, but to start we'll talk about some of the stories away from the track. Then at the end of the episode we'll highlight winners from Brainerd, Minnesota at the NHRA Lucas Oil Nationals, the Division 6 race in Seattle, the NHRA Division 1 race at Cecil County Dragway in Maryland, the SFG 300 Series race at Montgomery Dragway, and the Numidia 150 race at Numidia Dragway in Pennsylvania. So let's get started. One of the biggest stories of the week has to be Casey Pesnell, the 14-year-old who cashed in for $50,000 at the SFG 300 race. So later in the week after the race, drag coverage confirmed the fact that he was 14 and also confirmed that he will no longer be allowed in SFG competition until he meets the minimum 16-year-old age requirement. But regardless of what anyone says about the legality of KC racing, I think it is an incredible accomplishment. So Casey, congratulations, that was amazing. You should be extremely proud of what you've done at 14 years old. Next story is Jake Hodges' Working Man's 10K at Wagler Motorsports Park in Lyons, Indiana this weekend. So from my understanding of the racing situation in Indiana, they're very light on big money races. So this is a pretty big deal for racers in the state. So if you live in Indiana or if you're already at Indy for the US Nationals and you want to test something while still having the shot at 10K, then this weekend at Wagler Motorsports Park, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you can race for some big money. Saturday and Sunday is when they'll have the 10K payouts. So yeah, if you want to play, that's a place to be if you're in the Indy area. The last story I want to get into before we get into race coverage comes out of Vandermeer Speedway. So last week the track had their normal bracket race program, and they also infused a car show into it. But on top of that, they also infused a world record into it. So 140 people did a burnout at once at the track. And although that's not necessarily sportsman drag racing news, I did want to take the time in this episode to applaud the track for doing something to get people to the racetrack who typically wouldn't get to see sportsman drag racing. Now let's get into race action. So first up, we're going to highlight sportsman winners from the big show in Brainerd. In top alcohol dragster, Sean Cowie took another national event win after Megan Meyer rode it a little deep in the staging beams and turned it red. Now this was a big round from the top alcohol dragster class, as Megan and Sean are number 1 and 2 in national points. In top alcohol funny car, Shane Westerfield took the win over Doug Gordon to inch his way into his respective national championship points battle. And in comp eliminator, Jim Greenhecht used a 007 reaction time to take a whole shot win over Sean Vincent. In super stock, Brett Spear found his way to the winner's circle with the win over Jason DeForest in the final. In stock, Chris Knutson took the win over none other than the super stock winner Brett Spear after delivering a hard-to-beat 002 light and 20 total package to Spear. In super comp, Gary Stennett takes his 25th national event win over the young gun Tyler Bohannon. In super gas, Vernon Rowland took the win over Bo Butner, who's been absolutely hot in the super gas car he bought just days before he won the Sonoma Nationals. Henry Rybush took the win in top dragster with a 23-pack over Luke Bagacki, and Larry Demers took the top sportsman win over Kirk Frederick. Next up, we've got the NHRA D6 divisional from Pacific Raceways in Seattle. To kick winners off, Johnny Anthony took the W in top alcohol dragster over Kim Parker. Chris Marshall took the W in top alcohol funny car over Steve Gasparelli. Ralph Van Petegem took the whole shot win in comp eliminator over John Edwards. Todd Hayes took the super stock title over a red lighting Jody Lang.
And he red lights. Todd Hayes wins in the Cal Method Racing Nova. No double up effort for Jody Lang. Todd Hayes getting her done.
Then Jody came back in stock eliminator with a 009 light to take the win over Chris Hall.
At the top end of the quarter mile, your winner comes out of the left lane. It's Jody Lang.
In super comp, Randy Beck took the W over Tom Clark. Mike Coltrane took the W over Josh Milloff in super gas. For Francesca Garreau took the Super Street win over Matt Kilman. Cal Hansen got the top dragster win over Steve Kasher. Don Sefton took the top sportsman win over Terry Wilcox. And in sportsman motorcycle, Don DePeel took the win over Jake Havens. At the NHRA Division I race at Maryland's Cecil County Dragway, Lee Zane left with the Wally in comp eliminator after Richard Prizer turned it 005 red. In Super Stock, Stephen Camella won his first NHRA Divisional over George Taylor. Allison Dahl took a well-deserved stock eliminator win over Jerry McNeish after she was between 005 and 25 on the tree in 6 out of her 7 rounds. In Super Comp, Tom Stalba grabbed the W over Chris for his 3rd divisional win of the season. Charlie Knopick took his 2nd divisional title of the season over Oscar Olt in Super Gas. Thomas Amorosi took his 1st NHRA divisional win over Jason Lawrence in Super Street. Jeff Taylor took the top dragster win over Gary Kobe, which gave him his 1st NHRA divisional win. And in top sportsman, Jeff Brooks grabbed the W over Mark Payne to improve on his runner-up finish in Atco just a couple weeks before. Jeff is now the D1 points leader by just 2 points. Next up at the SF3 300 Series race at Montgomery Raceway in Montgomery, Alabama, 300 racers battled it out for $15,000 on Friday, $50,000 on Saturday, and $20,000 on Sunday. In Friday's 15K race, David Taylor drove to the win over the door car Gain Tickman. In Saturday's 50K race, the 14-year-old Casey Pesnell took the win over Neil Bush. And in Sunday's 20K race, Hayden Smith drove his Camaro to a win over Friday's winner, David Taylor. At the Numidia 150 race at Numidia Dragway in Pennsylvania, 150 racers competed for $10,000 on Friday and Sunday, and on Saturday they raced for $20,000, which is said to be the largest payout in the track's history. In Friday's 10K race, Russ Adams defeated Chet Dragon.
Separate him here at the starting line. Top end, it's going to be Russ Adams, 6:34.
On Biondo Racing Products 20K Saturday, Mike Nahill defeated the sponsor of the main event, Pete Biondo.
Biondo's 24, Nahill's 20. Here comes Pete, top end. It's going to be Nahill, 8:63, dead 7.
And on 10K Sunday, Jeff Serra grabs another win over Brian Balducci.
Sarah takes the time. He's in. They both turn it green. Sarah's double 207. Top end of the racetrack they will go, and it's going to be Jeff Serra, 6.21.
That is a wrap for this week's episode of the Sportsman Racing Rundown. As always, thank you for watching, and to keep up with the latest news in both sportsman drag racing and professional drag racing, head to your online source for drag racing news, CompetitionPlus.com.